Mike from Rocky Mountain Wet Shave. Today, I want to talk about a soap called Arko. I just got this from a friend on Badger and Blade. He sent me this stick because he'd been telling me how great it was for such a long time. Well, I kept telling him that I hadn't gotten a hold of any yet, and he got impatient and he just ordered me one. So that's pretty awesome. Another one of those perks from Badger and Blade where folks are always watching out for each other and helping guys discover new things. So let's get into this stuff. This is a shaving stick, and as such, you can use it a bunch of different ways. You can stick it in the bottom of a mug and press it in because it's actually very soft, and then just use it like any other soap. Or you can actually get your face wet and prepped, dip this in some warm water, and streak it on. And I think that's actually the way that it's intended to be used. So that's the way that I'm going to go with it today. And I'm going to show you guys how easy to use this stuff is. And on my first impression, and I've shaved with this a couple of times, I'm thinking this will probably be my go-to travel soap at the very least. It is an excellent soap, very slick, lathers extremely easy. I'm sure you could probably lather this stuff dry. Probably not, but I mean, it's almost that good. So let's get going with this, and I'll tell you more about it as we go along. Okay, I've got my water nice and hot, so I'm going to prep my face here. Get it all nice and wet. That feels pretty good. And here we go. And that's it. So you probably can't even see it on my face at this point. I put a very thin layer on there. I got my scuttle here, keeping my brush nice and hot, hydrated. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get her started. Now, my brush is very hydrated, so it's just gonna kind of drip off my face at this point. But as I get going, the Arko will start absorbing the water. And we'll start building that lather. Alright, not too bad. Really quick stuff. Works fast, works well. Got it all on there. I'm satisfied with the thickness of that coat. Now the smell of this stuff, I've heard people say that they don't like it. I would describe it as sort of an exotic Middle Eastern type of smell. This soap is made in Turkey, so I think it carries a little bit of that with it. I find it pretty pleasant, but I could see how other people might think that the smell was, you know, maybe not their thing. Anyway. But that's nice and slick. It's protective. It's doing the job. Now in my last video, I talked about my shaving routine, and I talked about the pattern in which I shave my face in. And I was telling about how I leave that goatee block and down the neck till the end. Well, I got to thinking about that, and there really wasn't any value to it the way that I was doing it. And I realized that my chin is the most sensitive area on my face. So I said, you know what, I shouldn't leave that till the last. I want to make sure that the soap is as hydrated as possible. And the air being as dry as it is out here in Colorado, I said, you know what, I'm going to get to that a little bit quicker because I want to make sure that the soap's in primary condition and that I get a good shave on that spot in particular. Because my side here, not as sensitive, not nearly. Same goes for my mustache, not all that sensitive, although my beard does grow in very thick there. My mustache anyhow doesn't seem to be much of a problem area. Ample slickness there. You can see I'm easily able to go over the bare spots again. Which is definitely something that I look for in a shaving soap. Being a one-pass shaver, it's important to be able to go back over areas. If you immediately realize that you didn't knock the stubble down as far as you wanted to. See if I can do a little bit more right under there. All right. Got my cold water rinse here. Get my face nice and clean and refreshed. Alright. And again, like in my last video, take a brand new, fresh washcloth, dry off my face. Using this brand new, fresh one, just out of the wash, to avoid getting any kind of bacteria on my skin in the areas that I've opened up through shaving. Even though I don't have any irritation or any problems, I'm sure that there are some tiny little openings on there that I'm not aware of. So I think that plays a big part in keeping the irritation away. Alright, so let's talk about this. Some observations that I have. That lather comes on quick. It's ample cushion, ample slickness. I like the smell personally. My wife even commented on it that she liked it. I'm very happy with it in general. One of the things that I did notice was that after being done with it, the lather that's left on the brush, not so good. So if I were to do a second pass on it, I guess maybe I would use the stick. Or it's possible that I'm not putting enough on my face to get that thick secondary lather into the brush. However, again, I'm a one-pass shaver. I'm very happy with it. One of my other observations is it does dry my skin a bit, so I use a little bit more lotion than I normally do. If you have oily skin or you live in a humid environment, I think this soap might be slightly more effective. But overall, I'm really happy with this stuff. And I think I'll probably be keeping a stick handy to take with me on any sort of business trips or anything that I might be doing. Because, wow, it's just good. That's all I got to say about that. So anyway, down below, I'd love to see your comments. Let me know if you've used Arko. What do you think about the smell? If you're in a more humid environment, I'd like to know how it makes your skin feel. And if you like this video, just let me know. Give it a thumbs up. Hey, once again, I'm Mike from Rocky Mountain Wet Shave. You take care. Thanks for watching.